so important in your learning journey, in your process. You need to be sure that you're meeting with. Hello there, welcome back to Social Work Scrapbook. My name is Lauren. I am a practicing clinical social worker, supervisor, and school social worker in the state of Texas, and I'm happy to bring you insights every week, especially for my studying social workers out there. So if you're watching this, you're probably heading into an internship very soon, and I'm going to share some top tips to help make that internship experience the best one for you. This is it. Your internship is where everything comes together. If you are advanced standing, you might have already had an experience like this. If you're new, completely new, I am so excited for you. If you're a little anxious right now at the start of your internship, not knowing what to expect, I want to just validate you right now. It's okay to be anxious and nervous. In fact, that's one of my tips that I'll get into in just a little bit. But I do think I want to take some time to tell you that a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of nervousness is needed. That's part of the recipe for growth. So it's okay. Take a deep breath. My first tip is you're nervous, be nervous. Lean into those nerves. It's okay. You do not have to know it all. I remember being there thinking that I had to be perfect, that I had to look like a social worker, walk like a social worker, I already said look like a social worker, talk like a social worker. I had to be perfect already at my internship, or then people were going to think like, why is she even here? What is she doing? Gosh, the imposter syndrome was so high for me. And if it is for you too, I just want to say, let's squash that right now. You are not expected to know anything right now at all. Let's leave the imposter syndrome to the MSWs and BSWs that have those licenses already and that are actually starting to work. For you, you're in the first step. It's okay to be lost. In fact, that's what everyone expects from you. So lean into that a little bit. Ask a whole bunch of questions. More importantly, share your limitations, share your weaknesses with your field supervisor. Your field supervisor is who is going to be with you day to day at the internship. You might not see them every day, but you should at least meet with them once a week. And this is where I want you to share what your limitations are, what your weaknesses are, because they are supposed to be tailor making an internship experience that is going to push you to grow in those specific areas. Moving on to my second tip, and this one is huge. You've heard me say this over and over in other videos. If you are not new to this channel, you've heard it. You might even be able to guess it. That is shadow. Shadow as many social workers as possible. At the agency where I work, actually I work at a school district. At the school district where I work, there are over a dozen school social workers. Each of us does social work a little bit different because each of us has a different campus. Each of us is working with a different population as far as secondary, elementary, teen parents. We're all over the place and we all have our own unique styles and our own unique approaches to meeting with parents, meeting with students, collaborating with staff and administrators, and you want to watch all that. I want you to be able to collect all that. So you may have your field supervisor, right, that we mentioned is in charge of your day-to-day learning, should be meeting with them once a week. And I'm going to repeat that several times because I'm hearing out there that y'all are not having those meetings. And we're going to talk about that later if that's the boat that you are finding yourself in. But ask your field supervisor if you can shadow other social workers in the agency. If you're going to be at a school, then you want to be sure that you're shadowing a high school social worker, an elementary social worker, a middle school social worker, the at-risk social worker. Find other social workers that you can shadow for a day, and that's just going to give you much more insight into the field. My next tip is to stay teachable. So as you get going into your internship, you're going to start learning a few things. It's going to start feeling a little bit easier by the day, which is good news, right? But I do want you to really continue to assess your learning situation there. Learn from your clients especially. So if you're doing your internship, you have your books, you have your lectures, you're going to classes, you're doing your internship, you're going to your supervision, right? Once a week with your field supervisor. There, I said it again, because I want to make sure that it's getting done. And there's another learning opportunity here. We had 5, right? We talked about books, lectures, your supervisor on site. What else did I say? All right, so I said 4. The 5th secret learning stream is from your clients themselves. Your clients are being placed with you for a reason. What that reason is, you'll find out years and years down the line, but they're giving you an experience that is unmatched right now. They're allowing you to practice all of the skills that you're learning, but they also have so much insight themselves. They have so many lessons that you can learn from just by listening and by holding space for them. So be sure that you take some time to learn from your client. Please though, do not be taking notes in session. It's okay to take notes in your lecture, right? And on like around your books and stuff like that, that's fine. Don't take notes in front of your client. Just don't do it. Wait till after they leave, right? You want to be super engaged when they're in front of you and when you're in session. After they leave, write it all down. Write down the experience. Write down what worked. Write down what didn't work. In social work, the learning doesn't just come from books, but from the people that you impact. Be sure to note down how you felt, what you said, what you wish you would have said, and ask your supervisor in your meetings what they would have said. In your learning journey, in your process, you need to be sure that you're meeting with a practicing social worker. Understand that your field supervisor agreed to this position. They asked for this position to be able to teach, and they're actually getting CEUs out of this as well. So utilize them. If you are trying and you're not able to meet with them, or you're not getting the experience that you're wanting, you are going to have to advocate for yourself. And I do that a little bit like this, right? With all of the contemplation and the anxiety kind of bubbling up again, because advocating is somewhat easy to do for students and clients and other people around us. But then when it comes to ourselves, we tend to keep quiet or to tend to try to work it out on ourselves. Did you know that you have a social worker? You have a social worker assigned to you, and that person is called your field liaison. At least that's what it was called when I was in school. It might be called something else now, but typically there is a social worker that is the link between your MSW program and your internship agency. That field liaison is there as a link because you need some help to advocate for your education. The university, the program, the MSW program wants to be sure that you're getting the education they're promising as well, right? So they have this person there to kind of mediate, to communicate, to get you that experience that you're needing. So of course, try to advocate for yourself on site with your field supervisor, right? That's the supervisor you're with day to day. Try to get what you need out of that person. If you are unable to, then you turn to your field liaison to help you. They are the link to help you make sure that you are getting the education that you absolutely need. Now, everyone is going to have to do that. If you're in a great MSW program, then your field liaison is on top of it, getting things done. But however, some things slip through the cracks. So if you do have to advocate for yourself, be sure that you know exactly who to go to in order to get the education that you're paying for and that you need in order to flourish in this field. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have further questions about any of the tips that I've shared today, drop them down below. If you have another question, feel free to drop it down below or reach out to me on Instagram. I am there every day sharing insights, doing Q&As, sharing my day in the life, all of that fun stuff, doing guest interviews. I can't wait to do another one. So be sure that you're joining the community over there at Social Work Scrapbook. I will have some new videos out to you very soon on school social work, on clinical social work, and some vlogs as well, because I know y'all love that. Until next time, please check out the other videos that are here on the channel. I am wishing you social work success. See you soon. Write down books, lectures, your supervisor, your internship as a whole, the whole experience. What else did I say?